Salo. They're fighting in the 135-pound weight class. Beltran giving up 2 years in age at 35, but he's got a 1-inch height advantage. He's got a 1-inch arm length advantage measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. They both weighed in under the 135-pound limit. And a closer look at Ray Beltran, who, as we mentioned, was born and raised in Los Mochis of Mexico, a place that's produced as many fighters as any small town in the world, came to the United States.
大家好，老师从业中医男科30余年，帮助了数千名海内外华人朋友通过中药调理重回男性雄风。如果你也存在房事时间短、勃起无力、硬度差、中途疲软、肾虚、前列腺炎等问题，现在就加中医老师微信574-993-200，纯中药，一人一方，治根治本，帮助你持续坚挺20至40分钟，补肾壮阳，延时助勃，彻底告别快男软男。记住微信574-993-200。
Called The Last Inca, models and appears in Peruvian advertisements. He's got soft drink commercials and various other kinds of advertisements there in Peru built around him. Owns a boxing gym there, but has lived for the last 7 years in northern New Jersey across the river and has some fans here in the Garden tonight. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, New York City, New York, USA, International Boxing Hall of Fame promoter, Mr. Bob Arum and his Top Rank Incorporated are proud to present an evening of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment live on HBO. And it's sponsored by Tecate, Born Bold. All bouts sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission. The 3 judges for this first contest, Max DeLuca, John Potteray, and Don Trella. And inside the ring in charge of the action, your referee, David Fields. And now our special co-feature of the evening on the line, the IBF #1 ranking in the world, along with the NABO and NABF and vacant WBA international titles. 12 rounds of boxing. This is in the lightweight division. Let's get this party started. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white, official weight 134.8 pounds. His professional record, 25 victories, including 12 wins by knockout, only 2 defeats, and 1 no contest. Originally from Callao, Peru, but now living, training, and fighting out of Jersey City, New Jersey. He is the last Inca, Jonathan Macero. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing red and officially weighs in at 134.6 pounds. His professional record, a veteran one, consisting of 32 victories, including 20 big wins by knockout, 7 defeats with 1 no decision. He's the reigning and defending NABO, NABF lightweight champion, damas y caballeros de Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico, and Phoenix, Arizona, USA, Raimundo Sugar Ray Beltran.
Okay, gentlemen, scheduled to box 12 rounds. I've gone over the rules in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Most of all, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, good luck.
Marcelo, as you mentioned, Jim, is a star in Peru and has star quality in terms of his personality. We'll see if he can have star quality as a fighter at this level, which is a high level. Ray Beltran, as has been reported in USA Today on MSNBC, is literally fighting to stay in this country. His attorney believes that the special category where if you show exceptional ability in sports or music or the arts, you can stay. His attorney believes a win here will virtually guarantee him his green card.
And as round one begins, watch for the Beltran left hook. That is his primary weapon. Maicelo is moving on his feet early, also using head movement to try to present a complex picture to Beltran. Beltran, of course, has already seen one of the most complex pictures in boxing over and over and over with all the years that he spent sparring Roy Jones with Manny Pacquiao as Pacquiao's #1 sparring partner.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more difficult than that, Jim. How Maicelo just landed a good straight right hand over the top of Beltran's jab. Maicelo is definitely different. He's orthodox. Pacquiao is southpaw, so he may headbutt, bad headbutt.
Steve Willis is acting next to us as the timekeeper. He gives David Fields a count, so that was called a knockdown. And the count went to 5 before Beltran got up. And already we've got a knockdown for Maicelo, the underdog, early in the fight against Beltran. I don't see any damage, Roy Jones, from the headbutt.
Under his left eye, you see a redness.
Yeah. There you go.
But Maicelo's not a puncher. He thinks he can counteract Beltran's advantage in power with his speed.
And his head is bleeding pretty bad, too, from that headbutt.
Yep, there we go. Now we've got the cut in the hairline.
And Beltran has a cut of his eye, yes.
That actually on the headbutt.
Was that an additional headbutt that you guys
No,
that's the original headbutt.
That's the original headbutt.
And the problem here is that the headbutt created the knockdown rather than a punch.
And then maybe we should have replay here, because if he doesn't cause that accidental, we don't know what may happen here.
There you see it. Their heads come together.
Yeah.
David Fields called both a knockdown and later an accidental headbutt. It's got to be one or the other, unless he's calling a phantom headbutt.
It's the third time in Maicelo's career that he has been cut on a headbutt. And you make a great point, Roy Jones. If replay were in use here and could be used to reverse an official decision, the knockdown might be wiped out. But at this moment, as it stands, there's a knockdown on the scorecards against Ray Beltran.
And Maicelo has landed 2 really good right hands this round already. So, I mean, Beltran is the experienced fighter here. Good right hand by Beltran, but Maicelo has landed the better 2 punches in this round so far.
But both guys are damaged. Maicelo with a cut around the hairline, and Ray Beltran, as you see, with a cut and some swelling under the left eye.
Beltran is in a much worse spot because it's over the corner of his eye. That blood's going to drip right into the eye, whereas Maicelo, the cut's on top of the head and his brow is kind of acting as a shield as the blood drips down.
Not really though, Max. His is kind of coming down towards his eye as well. So.
But now it is, you're right. But right earlier it was dripping off his brow.
Meanwhile, the two fighters try to focus on their craft and go back to throwing punches. David Fields made clear that an accidental headbutt had taken place. Now Beltran gets in a jab and a left hook. And Maicelo goes to the canvas at the end of the round after the bell had sounded. So we've had an unusual start.
Whoa, come on. Get in there. Right. Move that distance up. It's an easy fight for you. You give him too much room. He has a really good home run right. It's sneaky. You got to just stay close to him. Stick your head inside his chest, right?
Are you going to stop the clock? Because I want to treat him.
Oh, okay.
Here you see them come together with the heads. Maicelo slipped the jab, tried to come with the right hand, but landed the head first, and that's what produced the knockdown, not a punch.
Meaning that there should be no official knockdown.
No official knockdown. That headbutt produced a knockdown. Here at the end of the round, Beltran dropped him with a straight right hand right there. That was a clear knockdown that the referee didn't call. That was a knockdown. That was a knockdown.
So Ray Beltran is already 2 points worse off than logically he should be. And he got a knockdown scored against him, and he didn't get credit for a knockdown that he scored.
Exactly.
Well, it's been a rough life, and there's been some hard luck and tough challenges for Ray Beltran. He's accustomed to that. Now he has to come back from this in a fight scheduled for 12 rounds because it is seen by one of the governing bodies as a title shot eliminator.
Marcelo has had some success with that quick right hand. Beltran is a throwback fighter. He started his career. No one cared much about him. He had some early career losses. He made his bones as a sparring partner for Manny Pacquiao. You have to be tough to do that. And with some of that experience and because of the kind of pluck he showed, good combination from Marcelo in the gym and against increasingly better opponents. He's fought his way to top contender status. Good right hand from Marcelo.
Manny's hitting Beltran some big shots. Now, Beltran is known for immaculate chin, but goodness to gracious, he can't keep giving up these type of shots to Marcelo.
And there is a good-sized Peruvian contingent in the crowd. You can hear them getting excited as Marcelo sets himself up for a upset.
That's it.
Goes down on a left hook, and that was a colossal shot, and David Fields has stopped the fight. So just like that, Beltran rescues himself from the jeopardy created by the weird circumstances of the first round and scores a shocking second-round one-punch knockout.
And that's why he wasn't too concerned, guys, about the shots Marcelo was landing. Marcelo's a quick-fisted boxer, but not a puncher. Beltran knew from that first round, Roy, that he could hurt Marcelo.
Exactly.
David Fields, the ref, didn't know it was a knockdown. Beltran did. That was with the right hand. The left hand finished the job.
And what a good left hook.
What a good left hook. Beltran getting better and better as his career progresses.
Man, his punches are completely changed. He is a real one-punch knockout producer now.
Beltran bails himself and the New York State Athletic Commission out with one left hook.
And hopefully gets to stay in this country as a result, Jim.
And might get a title shot as the result of this victory. Meanwhile, Marcelo is still there. Doctors are working over him, and he has not moved since the moment Beltran landed the left hook and put him on his back.
There was a knockout back in the old days when somebody got knocked out and their feet were shaking. And when he got hit with that left hook right then, as soon as he went down, the first thing I noticed is that his feet were shaking.
A tremor.
Yes, it was over with. No questions about it. Now they're putting a neck harness on him to hold his neck stable because they don't know what condition his head is in. His head hit the floor pretty hard when he went down.
They're going to take him out of here on a gurney. Yeah, this is not necessarily about the damage from the punch itself, but rather from the head colliding with the canvas when he went down.
The impact of the floor.
Now, we will eventually show you a videotape replay of the left hook that put Marcelo where he is. But until he has been dealt with and removed from the ring, we're going to stick with what we're showing you right here as the New York State Athletic Commission doctors deal with this urgent situation in the ring.
And I spoke about Beltran's new way of punching and the way that the last fight he had, the power he showed. This is just another example because we are not used to seeing Ray Beltran throw punches that produce one-punch knockouts.
That's his fourth straight knockout.
Yes, man.
Since the loss to Terrence Crawford in Omaha in 2015. So he's putting together quite a dossier at this stage of his career, 35 years old.
And they're getting more impressive by the fight. Wow.
Marcelo is conscious, obviously.
He's trying to get up as usual, as most fighters would want to do. That's what makes this sport so difficult, Jim. You never know how you're going to come out of a boxing ring, and people don't take it for what it's really worth, but we never know when we go in there how we may come out.
The New York State Athletic Commission has instituted very strict protocols and procedures in the wake of all the implications that followed what happened to Magomed Abdusalamov, Russian heavyweight, who in a fight against Mike Perez here in New York in the small room here at Madison Square Garden a few years back. Suffered tremendous damage over the course of a long fight with Mike Perez, and Abdusalamov is still recovering or trying to recover in a treatment center in upstate New York. Tremendous costs associated with that. There were lawsuits, and there was a lot of exploration of New York State Athletic Commission procedures relative to an injured fighter, and you can see some of the outcroppings of that in what has been taken place here with Maicelo. And now let's look at the left hook knockout, Roy Jones.
Yeah.
Ray Beltran with a terrific shot.
Yeah, you see Beltran lean that right shoulder forward. Right there's a feint and come with a lead left hook, a lot like one that I hit Tony Thornton with back in the day. Best of did, but right on the target. You can't ask for a better lead hook. You saw the impact of the head hitting the floor.
It bounced twice.
That's why they wanted to protect the neck. Once again, a lead left hook right there.
He was unconscious as he went down.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Everything was gone. Once that left hook landed, it was all over.
And it's very easy to get a concussion from the double impact of the head against the canvas.
Yes, it is. See the little feint right there, caused the right hand to come forward, and there's the left hook. Beat him to the punch. Doesn't get any better than that. There you see the leg shaking.
All right, now Maicelo has been removed from the arena, so medical treatment will take place out of sight from this point forward. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars on the Beltran knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Madison Square Garden, the official time is 1 minute, 25 seconds of round number 2. The winner by knockout victory. He retains his NABO and NABF titles. He becomes the number 1 ranked IBF contender in the world, and he also now has the WBA international title. He is Raimundo Sugar Ray Beltran.
Quickly, let's look at final CompuBox numbers total. It was Maicelo who is landing more punches and throwing more punches in the early going, while Beltran sized him up and focused on the possibility of landing that big left hook. Ray Beltran has 3 children, ages 13, 11, and 6, all born here in the United States. He may just have taken a big step toward having the chance to keep them here. Let's go to Max Kellerman in the ring with Ray.
Knockout win. A lot just happened. Obviously a very happy and emotional moment for you, but I saw the look of concern on your face as you saw your opponent being taken out of the ring. Would you like to say a few words about that before we get to the rest?
Yeah, you know, I never, when I fight, I never really expect to really hurt my opponents really bad. No harm, no wish, no harm, you know what I mean? And that's what we do, you know, but I really felt bad because I didn't expect that he was going down that bad, you know.
You know, hopefully, the way these things usually work, it wasn't a long, grueling fight. His head hit the canvas, but usually you don't hear about bad things happening after a one-punch knockout early in a fight like that, so we all hope for the best. Now on to the happy stuff for you. You entered this fight fighting maybe literally for your green card, needing to win not only because it's a title eliminator, but because a win would virtually guarantee, according to your attorney, that you would get that green card and stay in the country. Presuming that's what happens, can you take us through what you're feeling right now?
I'm emotional, you know. I feel very happy and I can really express my feelings right now. You know, I hope I get my green card and my title, you know.
Why is that so important to you, Ray?
It's a hope for my family. A hope for my family, a better future.
Well, certainly if the point is to show that you have some special talent, you fought your way to the top of boxing from a guy with early career losses, now fighting for a title once again. You've already been robbed once, fighting for a title overseas, and you get another opportunity. What does that mean to you?
That means my dreams are coming true. I'm making my dreams come true, you know, by hard work. I want to fight anybody on the lightweight division, any champion that is brave enough to fight me. I'm ready. I'm ready for anybody. I'm not the type of fighter that shows who to fight. Just tell me who is in front of me and I fight him.
Ray, just to take us through the details of the fight a little bit, because it was a very odd first round. He was hitting you with a quick straight right hand. There was a vicious headbutt. It was incorrectly called a knockdown. That counted against you. Opened up a cut. And then by the end of the round, you knocked him down. The ref didn't catch it. It wasn't counted. Let's start with the headbutt. What happened?
You know, it got a very awkward style, very difficult style, you know, very wild. And I was trying to adapt to the rhythm. And yeah, when he knocked me down, it was a knockdown. I mean, it was a headbutt, you know, but it kind of as a knockdown. But I just stayed patient. I was trying to find my rhythm, trying to find my distance, figure him out. And I knew it was a matter of time because I was seeing the openings. I knew it was a matter of time to get him with a good hook.
Were you hurt by the headbutt? Obviously, it opened up a cut, but were you hurt as though you'd been hit with a shot?
Well, when he put me down, it kind of stunned me, you know, because the headbutt was hard. It was very strong, you know. So I get stunned a little bit.
Here it is. We're going to look at it. You tell me what you see. I mean, I guess if it's hard enough to knock you off your feet, it's like a knockdown.
Yeah, it was really hard. It was his weight against my weight. You know, it was very strong.
So here you are fighting to stay in this country, fighting for a title shot. And in the first round, you're on the canvas. Woozy, get up with a cut. And did the blood coming into your eye, did that affect your vision?
Oh, no, thank God. You know, I knew I was bleeding, but it didn't really affect my vision, you know.
At the end of the round, you knocked him down. Were you aware that you knocked him down?
No, I knew it. I knew when I heard him, and I just let my hands go. But you know, it was the ring, the bell ring, you know.
And finally, in the second round, he was having some success, catching you with some quick combinations. Were you trying to lure him in to counter with your left hand?
Well, I just tried to stay patient. It was having a good moment, and I just didn't lose my focus. I was okay. I just relax. I knew it was a matter of a couple rounds, you know, to adapt to him. But I knew because I saw the opening. It was a matter of time to catch him with the right distance and get him with the right shot.
Let's look at this. It was a spectacular one-punch knockout. Take me through it.
Yeah, honestly, I see a little bit of his fight, a little of the tape, and I knew he already exposed for that punch, and that was my plan, you know.
As he was going down, he was already unconscious. The head hits the back of the ring. I know I opened the interview by asking you about this, but how does that all work into this moment for you, which is a very emotional moment? Obviously, we saw earlier, and at the same time, you obviously had concern for your opponent. So what does that do to this moment?
Well, you know, it is what it is. When I hit him, you know, and I was going down, and I knew he wasn't going to get up the way he fell. And I was happy because I knew I was winning, but when I saw it wasn't getting up, and then I worry, you know, about him, you know. I wish he recovered really fast, you know, and be well.
Ray, congratulations on a spectacular knockout again, and hopefully on getting the green card. Last comment.
Thank you very much. A shout out to my boy Chris, Set Cuadro Body Shop, to my family in Arizona, my kids, Edgar, Eden, Pollo, Lupita, my mom, everybody. Recaño Supply, Bernie Sport.
Thanks, Ray. Jim?
Global Fitness.
Ray Beltran, raised in a shack in Los Mochis, Mexico, cobbled together out of cardboard boxes and sheet metal, firmly believes that he can be a proud representative both of that nation and of the nation where he has lived for the last 18 years. It saddens him that some people don't sympathize with that quest, but they won't stop him. Still to come tonight,